In a developing story, GB News faces a £100,000 fine from Ofcom for allegedly breaking impartiality rules during a programme featuring former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. The broadcaster is now challenging this decision through a judicial review. This situation began in May, when Ofcom announced that a February broadcast titled People's Forum, the Prime Minister had breached broadcasting standards. The show featured Mr. Sunak answering audience questions and interacting with a presenter. Ofcom determined that this setup gave him an uncontested platform to promote his government's policies, which was deemed a violation of impartiality rules, especially given the proximity to an upcoming general election. GB News CEO, Angelos Frangopoulos, described the fine as a direct attack on free speech and journalism in the United Kingdom. He emphasized that the sanctions were unnecessary, unfair, and unlawful. He went on to defend the broadcast, saying it was intended as a public interest program that allowed the audience to directly question a key political figure, adding that appropriate steps were taken to ensure balance. The show had originally aired on February 12 and received 547 viewer complaints. Ofcom, in their findings, stated that featuring the Prime Minister was acceptable in itself but should have included a wider range of views to maintain balance. Given what it called the seriousness and repeated nature of the breach, Ofcom imposed the financial penalty and directed GB News to broadcast an announcement of the findings. GB News is now pursuing a judicial review to contest the breach, and Ofcom will hold off on enforcing the sanction until the review is resolved. Mr. Frangopoulos reiterated that while GB News is committed to adhering to the broadcasting code, they also expect Ofcom to uphold freedom of expression and apply rules fairly. Earlier in the year, Ofcom had also found GB News in breach of impartiality standards regarding previous shows featuring Conservative MPs as presenters.